It's alright.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Max on Borderlands video, and today we're going over Flynt Eastwood, my new Jakobs Zane build. Now, first off, thank you guys so much for helping me come up with the name for it. Flynt Eastwood is absolutely amazing. Second, not the first person to ever do a Jakobs Zane build. It's not a wholly original idea. I don't take credit for making a Jakobs Zane build. I just wanted to make a fun Jakobs build with Zane that highlights how strong the executor is and take advantage of some underutilized, underappreciated Jakobs weapons to showcase how strong these can be. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, guys, let's get right into it. Alright guys, let's get into this video. Also, apologize if I look a little tired. It's currently 3 a.m. here, but I wanted to get this video out for y'all. So, we're going to talk about the gear first, and then we'll get into the skill tree. The best weapon on this build out of all my testing is the Becca. Now, if you guys did not know about the Becca, and why I'm so crazy about it right now, why it's so much fun to use, is because when you shoot it, it gets 3 unlisted projectiles. You have your main projectile and your 3 unlisted. Any effects that increase the amount of pellets that you shoot will only be taking into account that this 1 pellet consuming 1 ammo is actually 4 pellets. Meaning that if I grab my Infernal Wish shield and I shoot with my Infernal Wish active, I am then going to be getting extra pellets. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8 pellets per trigger pull. As long as my shield is active, I'm getting 8 pellets. So I basically just doubled my damage. Now, if I shoot my cannon and I get playing dirty, I'm now going up to 12 pellets per trigger pull. Now, in order to maintain this like high damage and these high pellet counts, you need to keep your Infernal Wish active. And with this build, we're going to be using barrier and some Zane tricks to keep up our shield so that we're always getting this bonus, plus amping all of the projectiles that are going through our barrier. That is kind of like a big synergy here. You can use any Jakobs weapon. The Hellwalker, the TK's Wave, the Companion is nice here. The Call weapons, the Clairvoyance is actually really good here. The Clairvoyance really falls apart when you can't hit crits. It's really important to hit crits with the Clairvoyance. It can actually be a better weapon for mobbing than the Becca. But as soon as you're against like Kraken or Valkyries or Wotan, where you can't hit crits with this, the Becca just blows the Clairvoyance out of the water. But any Jakobs weapon that you want to use, I messed around with the Love Drill. The Love Drill was pretty good. The Skull Masher is absolutely insane. Any Jakobs weapon that you want to use will be good. But for this build, I was focused on using the Becca just because I really enjoy it. Next up, I already said the Infernal Wish. The class mod we're using is the Executor, and that's a big departure for this build. Besides like the Seeing Dead spy meta, the Executor is really good, and the biggest thing that the Executor provides is this huge crit damage bonus of 90% when you're using it. When you activate the Executor, you're gonna get 90% crit bonus. That's what allows us to basically one-tap pretty much everything. With this is when we're hitting our crits and we're hitting all those projectiles on crit, we're getting huge bonuses. Another big thing about the Executor is that its points that it spec into, or possible points, are really good. You really want 6 out of 3 good misfortune here. The amount of return you're going to get when you get this kill skill or when you activate your Mantis Cannon is huge, and it is going to allow us to keep up our barrier, which once again, our barrier is allowing us to keep up our wish shield so that we can keep getting those extra projectiles and that extra damage. The big thing here is, like, look at my duration now with the Seeing Dead. If I proc that just like a few times, I can get all the way up to duration. And you're going to hit diminishing returns a lot slower with the Executor. So you can basically keep up your action skills infinitely on an Executor build, which normally you'd have to do with a Seeing Dead. If you can get 6 out of 3 good misfortune, 5 out of 3 is fine, 4 out of 3. But as long as you get some points in a good misfortune, you're going to be fine. We cannot spec into Violent Violence because our weapons aren't really influenced by fire rate. And we're going to be getting a bunch of fire rate from Domino Effect anyways. So because of that, we can spec more points into Cool Hand. We get points into Cold Bore to swap and get that extra crowd damage. There's a lot of cool things that using all Jakobs weapons allow us to do. Sorry, I said I wasn't going to talk about the skill tree, but they kind of go hand in hand. You know, it's a build. And then our Jakobs Company Man. This thing is it's amazing. You can use an Icebreaker Victory Rush instead of a Jakobs Company Man. I have a pretty god roll Jakobs Company Man, and that is why I'm using that. The biggest thing to note about the Becca versus any other Jakobs weapon is accuracy does not affect the Becca. Now, accuracy, when I spam my accuracy, will make my crosshair a lot tighter. And you can see that my crosshair there looks ridiculously tight. But the actual individual spread between the projectiles doesn't seem to be influenced by accuracy. I took off all my accuracy and didn't activate anything, and on a wall, the spread was identical to when I had full accuracy buffs between the projectiles. So it's more so for things like the heat wave, which are tremendously influenced by that that increased accuracy. But the Becca itself will not be like drastically changed by accuracy increases. You're mainly just there for the damage and the crit damage. That's about everything for our gear. Now moving on to our skill tree. Showing on screen is the skill tree. Now, I've already talked about a decent amount of what we're doing here. Blue tree, we don't need Sentinel, we don't need drone delivery. I wanted to get more points into Cool Hand for reload speed because I didn't want to feel like I needed to constantly be swapping weapons to take advantage of Cold Bore. You don't need any more points than 5 here in playing dirty. I'm getting 2 from my skill tree, so or for my class month, so 5 in total. If you don't have any points into playing dirty, make sure that you have 5 points here, and you can detract points from something like Cool Hand or Cold Bore. I didn't like going red tree. I found because I'm using slow firing, hard hitting weapons instead of something like a redistributor or something like that, I found that I liked having all-rounder for my survivability, especially because we're not using a Seeing Dead build. Zane notoriously can have a difficult time if you go into Fight for Your Life with going green tree. I know it's not everyone's favorite. We basically can just avoid going into Fight for Your Life. I do not go down in this build. I literally just do not go into Fight for My Life. The survivability is amazing because our action skills are up infinitely and we have all-rounder. Plus our little bit of life steal. I spec'd into Hardy Stock for extra max shields because while we're firing, our Infernal Wish will be going down because we're on fire, so we can delay it going down by using Hardy Stock, and then ready for action, shield recharge rate, shield delay, plus brain freeze, just freeze things. It's like you could not put any points into here. You could put them into Stiff Upper Lip if you're having trouble dying. You could put them more into ready for action, but because our shield's kind of always on fire. One thing to note about the Infernal Wish, if a lot of people were confused about this, and it's very confusing, this dot is not a fire dot. This does not count as a fire elemental dot. In fact, it just registers as like taking damage, but it doesn't mean it, like in the game you don't benefit from an elemental projector with fire. Just something to note. It's technically like a non-elemental dot, I think. So like Stiff Upper Lip could be nice for it, but I didn't think it was too necessary because I wasn't dying regardless. And then lastly, we have to talk about Purple Tree because accuracy doesn't really affect the Becca. I didn't think Mana Focus was too important. That's why I went into Deja Vu because I'm only consuming 1 ammo per shot. Deja Vu is going to give me a chance when I get the crit to get that 1 ammo back, which is so nice. It means that we can just kind of spam shots on our Becca. But when we do reload, we have a bunch of reload speed. Commitment, Headsman in the Hand for the extra crit damage. Fugitive, Domino Effect for the reload speed and fire rate. I didn't like Art of War, even though Art of War would technically be good for this build. The extra gun damage isn't really as important as getting that reload speed for me. Plus, I didn't want to feel like I had to spam out my cannon all the time in between shots just to get the effect of Art of War. So you could spec it. It is relatively nice, but I didn't think we needed it. And then Eraser for the Pierce Shot extra damage bonus, and our man Flynt. We're basically always aim down sights because we're using Jakobs weapons, getting that extra V2 damage. Super nice. Guys, that is it for the build. I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope you learned something new. This save file will be posted in the Discord. I hope you guys like the little montage at the beginning as well. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.